I want to talk about the velocity of your firm's growth. So you started at the end of 2021, and as it sits today, roughly in the middle of 2026, you're at 630 in assets under management, 630 million in assets under management. So from zero to 630 million in under 5 years, that's remarkable growth. So talk me through when did that velocity really pick up? And I think what you told me in preparation for this conversation is that you're planning to onboard 500 million in net new assets in 2026 alone, which would almost double the size of the firm. So when did that velocity really pick up, and what do you attribute that velocity to?
Yeah, and we've over doubled our firm every year since we've been in business. Last year we did 300 million of net new assets, and so that doubled the firm just in that year too. And so we just, YouTube really took off for us. That was one of the big moments for our firm. I started the firm just being gritty. Like I did 150 workshops a year, lots of evenings, just made it work. And then during that time, I just focused on building my brand, building my personal brand, building Peak's brand, and just doing content marketing. I've written 4 books. The first book I wrote was called I Hate Taxes. I would say that's really what put us on the map. That, and also being featured in Kiplinger. So I'm part of their Kiplinger Advisor Intel group. So there's a few of us advisors who write content for them. And so I have 2 articles that get featured there every month, and we get hundreds of thousands of views on some of those articles. And so a combination of all that stuff playing together has really been what's made it work. But I can't really point to just one thing. It's all the work that we've done to do that. And so I just believe that in order for people to know who you are, you got to let them know who you are. And so that was kind of the whole point of content marketing. And like, I'm not a guy who enjoys going and doing a steak dinner for people, or knocking on doors, as I said earlier. So like, I enjoy educating. I enjoy showing value and letting people decide if they feel like this is something they want to do or not. And so that's how all of our content is designed. It's designed just to add value first, and see what comes from it. And I just saw there wasn't a lot of people doing that. There wasn't a lot of people doing video when I started doing video. There wasn't a lot of people writing content. The average agent advisor is 56. Most of them have great businesses of their own. They don't really see a need to keep growing. And so that's kind of where we stepped up and, just stepped right into that opportunity.
You did 150 workshops in your first year in business.
Yeah, first 2 years of business
Wow.
consecutively. So a lot of work, but I think a lot of people, I use the saying of shovel manure. I think young people in our industry, they need to learn how to shovel manure and do hard things. And what you'll grow through that adversity, you'll grow so much. You'll never see tougher challenges. You'll see everything that you'll grow so much through. So we always try to tell our young team of like, hey, when I see you struggle, I am right there with my arm around you and saying, keep going, because this is going to be incredible. But I'm not going to sit there and coddle you. I'm not going to sit there and feel bad for you. I'm going to see this as an opportunity. Every adversity is an opportunity. So that's something we always look forward to.
Did you launch YouTube right when you started the firm, or did that come later?
So a little later, but pretty shortly after I started the firm. But what a lot of people forget with YouTube is that you don't just post one video and have hundreds of thousands of views. It's consistent time. I mean, we posted videos for about a year, probably a year and a half before we even started to get any traction. So, it's posting a video and you've got 6 views on it, and one of them's probably my mom, the other's probably Megan. It's like a couple guys at the office. There's not a lot of traction, right? And then, all of a sudden you start to hit the algorithm and it all starts working together, and your content gets better and you get better delivering it. And I always tell people, like, go watch my first YouTube video and go watch my most recent, and they will see how much you can grow by just talking in front of a camera. But I don't think a lot of people want to do that. Like, it's hard to talk in front of a camera. You have to have charisma.
So how many videos were you posting early on? I mean, is the cadence today similar to when you started?
Yeah, 3 videos a week is kind of what I've committed to for years now. And I've just stuck to it. It's a lot of videos. It's a lot of, early mornings, late nights, where you've got to make sure you get those videos done for the next week so we don't miss anything. But for the last 2-3 years, I've been able to keep up with it with no problem.
And was there something specific after that year and a half mark when the algorithm started picking up Jono's retirement and you started to feel more momentum around the show? Was it the content that you were sharing, or was it really just that you had consistently been delivering 3 new episodes a week? Like, can you attribute the velocity change to anything in particular?
Yeah, I just think the content was valuable. I've seen other people that have done YouTube for that amount of time as well, and it never picked up. And so when I watch their videos, it's like, yeah, I don't really enjoy watching these videos, to be kind of blunt. I mean, like, you got to have a good product to have to catch that type of traction. So I was just a student of the game. I just focused on all the small things. How do we make the editing look sharp? We hired a graphic designer, we hired a full-time video editor, and we just went all into it. It was a big risk because it's like, we don't know if this is going to work. I have all these videos, but no proof that it actually works, but let's see what we can do.
It sounds like you're investing quite a bit into marketing from day one, potentially before you were even cash flow positive on the business. Did you have to make investments from a marketing perspective that made you uncomfortable in the beginning because your revenue didn't necessarily substantiate the investments that you were making?
Yeah, no, I actually took out a loan on my house to be able to start the firm. And so I was able to save up the 3 years that I was with other companies right out of college. And I took out a loan out of my house and I said, I hope this works. And I lived with the fact of, like, if it doesn't, man, it'll be a cool story. I mean, like, how many people get an opportunity to start a business at 25? And I was like, single, no kids at this time. Hey, I can afford to fail. I can afford to go through this. And I was just thinking, again, back to the show manure concept, like, how much will I grow just through this experience nonetheless? And so that was the mindset I had. But yeah, I mean, you're paying, those workshops to get people to show up to the workshops. I mean, that costs money to do. Sometimes, you're paying to get people to come in, and then you don't even know if they're going to show. Like, you don't even, there's going to be nights where no people even register, even attend. And so, you just have to be able to be prepared for that. And, the Game of Numbers, the Nick Murray book, and I think a great book for any advisor out there that is struggling with this concept. But in order to make money, you've got to spend money. And so I think that's been a big marketing thing all along for us, is just trusting that you're going to get an outflow from that product, if you have everything working the right way.
In order to make money, you have to spend money. That is the Nick Murray principle Joe just referenced, and it is exactly what many firms in this industry get wrong about marketing. They get so caught up on ROI math, on attribution and cost per lead, that they underinvest in the very thing that would drive their growth. The firms that build engines like Peaks are usually the firms that committed before they could prove the return.